Hi everyone, John Peitzman here at JP, and welcome to another episode of The Build Show with JP. I am so excited about our guests today. Here they are, Carly and Tresne, and they are running with the happiness mission and so much more. You know them, you love them. I'll let them introduce themselves, and we're going to be talking about what they're excited about, what they're currently going after in their lives, how they've implemented and continue to implement the Build framework into their lives for personal and professional success. And again, I'm so excited to just have this conversation. So welcome, guys.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah, do you like the new set? I mean, this is all
I
a new
absolutely
look
love
and
it.
feel. Yeah.
It feels great. So
Quite
it's got a good vibe.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's start with what are you excited about today?
Oh my gosh. Okay, how much time have you got?
We have about 17 minutes for everybody.
Okay, well, I'll
right,
keep
okay,
it short.
that's right.
We are super excited at the moment. I'm speaking for both of us now.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll let you speak for both of you in a
We're the
second.
same
Yeah,
person,
same person.
Right.
But we are about to launch a conference, which we are very, very excited about, which will be in September. So I think that's something we're super excited about. And we just bought a new house, so we're excited about doing some beautiful renovations.
Where's the new house?
It's in Adamstown. Well, it's actually Broadmeadow in Newcastle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's
Exciting.
been consuming many of our decisions.
Cool. Anything to add to the excitement, or those are the things?
Yeah, those are the main things. I think the house planning has consumed majority of my time at the moment. But yeah, the conference, which is so exciting, we're getting quite a diverse range of people, and usually we're running a lot of teacher courses on more subject-specific content, and now we're getting some amazing cake artists.
Cake.
Right.
Caking.
Caking,
It's
that's the
a
term.
new word.
The industry term, caking.
That's what all the kids are saying.
Right.
Caking
Caking,
artists.
right.
That's what the cool kids say.
Now I feel so like millennial. Can I say the word? I know I'm not ever. Caking, that's great.
Well, as long as you're eating avocado on toast
That's
and
right.
2 coffees a day, you're a millennial.
Very good. Well, I'm a vegan, so yeah, easy.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you said it like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm like, oh, you can have avocado. That's fine.
So for those listeners who don't actually know your background, and again, you know, not the long version, because I know we could talk the entire time about that, but just a little bit about your journey and, you know, how you met and how you've been spending time together. I know you have a lot of background on television and different things that you've done, but kind of the story that brought you to where you are today would be really interesting, I think, for our listeners to hear about, and then we'll dive right into the Build framework.
Okay. So for us, I think what would be probably interesting for your listeners to learn is that it's been a roller coaster. It hasn't all been smooth sailing, which is, you know, it just makes you stronger. So we actually met in 2008, and we've been together ever since.
Yep.
We're married. We've been married twice now, so we're like, let's do it again.
Was there a split in there, and then you back together? Just
No.
kidding. When I hear that, I'm like, you know.
No, we had a commitment ceremony, and
Right.
then we had a legal wedding in New Zealand.
Right.
So third time lucky, legal.
Third
wedding
time
in
lucky
Australia.
in
Yeah.
Australia. We got the yes.
Yeah. Perfect.
So yeah, we've done a lot of travel, a lot of soul searching. We did some rough sleeping, which was interesting. We've done a lot of work with charities, some of which was documented, very lengthy sort of documentation.
Yeah.
Then we had. Well, we
the
started our
Happiness
first
Mission.
business.
Yeah. So the Happiness Mission, basically, we went on a reality TV show that involved cooking, and we had a lot of people getting in contact with us.
That was My Kitchen Rules,
My Kitchen
right?
Rules,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Didn't want to mention that, but yeah.
Okay, sorry. We did now.
Now they know.
Well, everyone's asking, they're like, what was it?
Oh, I've seen you somewhere.
Did y'all go to school with you?
That's
I get
right,
that wrong. So yeah, we were on MKR, or My Kitchen Rules, and there's a lot of stress. You're putting in stressful situations, and a lot of people would have meltdowns, and we tend to stay fairly calm, in a sense anyway. We had a lot of people get in contact asking us, how do we stay so positive throughout the experience? So Carly and I would just write back these huge essays and emails saying, look, this is what we do, this is the strategies that we implement every day. And we thought, you know what, how about we put together a program and go out in schools, deliver it to students, because they'd probably want to know what these strategies are and also how to implement them themselves. So yeah, that's
Where it all
And that was the name, so that's about being happy, right? The
Yes.
happiness mission. So you're on the
Yes.
mission to be happy.
On a
Exactly.
mission,
There you
and
go.
just giving students really simple to follow strategies to keep themselves in an optimistic state, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But the weird thing that happened was we had so many people who were teachers saying, you know what, you really should be doing something for us. You know, we'd like to be happy too. And
Imagine that.
and you know, happy teacher, happy students. So so we launched our Teach Professional Development company off the back of that, and then now it consumes the majority of our time. So we didn't plan this path, but here we are on it and we love it. So
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
But I think that's what drew us to the Build framework, because it's very, very simple steps to follow. Being a teacher, I love an acronym.
Yeah, I'm
I
Mr.
love an
Acronym, so don't get me started. Exactly.
And I also like the centrifugal looping.
Centrifugal looping, yeah, exactly.
That's the word.
Yeah.
So I really like that it loops back.
Yeah.
Because in our world, building relationships is everything. So the fact that like each of the steps, you come back to building relationships,
Yeah.
we were like, JP, you are speaking that language.
Got that,
Yeah.
my friend.
So
Well, let's talk about that, and thank you for that. I know you've read the book a few times, you've listened to the audio book, you're like,
we got it in all the different
all
genres.
different angles. So let's just walk through BUILD. And for those of you who don't know, BUILD is an acronym that stands for Building Relationships, Understand the Business, Implement Strategies, Lead and Inspire, and Deliver Excellence. So let's start with B, build relationships. So if we look at your lives, right, and understanding the importance of building relationships, what for our listeners is one of the most important relationships for you that you've built?
Well, for us, it's got to be our relationship because we have grown together, and our relationship has actually been a catalyst for so many of our life decisions. So traveling together, we wouldn't have done apart. Starting a business, that was a huge leap.
Yeah.
Never would have done it without this guy. And but it really has led us to meet like-minded people and more positive influences on our lives. So
And we're very lucky in the sense as well to have a life partner that is your business partner, and you've got aligned values and you grow together and you build a business together. So yeah, the core relationship between us two is, it's
Right.
amazing.
But like you said in the film framework, like some relationships are like cactuses or
Right.
cacti, and you don't have to feed them all the time. But ours is a flower. We
Right.
need to feed
Watering
it
every day.
We're watering
Right.
every
And
day.
that's good.
Yeah, making sure
Yeah.
that we're happy and our happiest versions, because we now impact a whole team of people. So if we're not our best selves, that really isn't a good ripple effect to have in our office or in our seminars. So we really do make an effort to be the best versions of us.
No,
Yeah.
and clearly it's amazing. And I love how you touched on too, without even touching on it specifically, the tie between personal and professional. Right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
BUILD is a heart-based system for personal and professional growth, but your personal relationship obviously extends professionally because that's what led one to the other, right?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
amazing. If you look at understanding the business, the you now, and you look at all the different understandings you've come to over the years, what's something that the listeners, you think, can take away from your experience from the standpoint of what you understand now about the business that maybe you wish you would have understood a few years
A
back?
couple of years back, yeah, that would be good. I don't know if you ever heard Steve Jobs talk about how you can't connect the dots looking forward, but you can when you're looking back.
Right.
And I've found this so many times throughout our lives. So, for example, I mean, we were babies when we got together. So we have grown together, which just makes us stronger and stronger. But it's things that you think that might be this solo bit of knowledge acquisition, and then you actually go, oh my gosh, that actually applies in this area of my life, this area of my life, this area of my life. So I think for us, understanding the business is really about knowing what impact we have on others, whether it be in our presentations or even just in conversations like this, on our social media. It's all important to make sure that we are actually clear on our values and goals, and that comes across in every instance.
Right, because it all connects, especially nowadays, right? I mean, everything is
Absolutely. Yeah.
ultra interconnected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else on understanding the business? or-
And also understanding the business and also understanding who your clients are and what they need. So with our teachers, we know that they're time poor. We know that they're under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. So with us, we try and provide as much value in delivering them content or giving them products that's going to make their life easier.
Yeah.
So understanding who your core business is and then doing the best you can. I'm skipping ahead in delivering excellence
Right, yeah, exactly.
It all loops.
Yeah.
All loops.
It all
true.
loops.
Yeah, because then you go back, you understand the business, you build more relationships,
Yeah.
right? And you foster or create new ones. You understand the business even better, and then you go to I implement strategies. So then we ask about, okay, so when you look at all the different strategies that you have in your life, and we were just talking about some daily habits, you have all these different things that you
Yeah.
do. Again, in sharing with our listeners today, what are some of the key strategies that you've learned that are so important to implement for you?
So we are big believers, like we are lifelong learners. We believe ourselves to be a learner, and we can't fit learning into our lives while we're doing. So we had to actually implement a way that we could make sure that it happened. And so we have our daily rituals, and all of those have, so we do all these. If we get up at 5 a.m., and I have to say, sometimes it's a
Are you
real
the alarm
stretch.
clock, or are you the sleeper
I'm
anyway?
a sleeper.
Yeah, that's on our list. Does it get
5
ticked?
a.m.
Not all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, not all the time.
But if you do, continue on. Let's assume you do. Okay.
We start with gratitude.
Right.
5 things we're grateful for.
Affirmations.
Affirmations. I always
Goals.
put in there a little intentions for my subconscious mind. What do I
Right.
intend to do today?
Right.
Who do
We
I have
read
to
over our
be?
goals, visualization,
Yep.
and then finally, we always plan every day to do a random act of kindness.
Right.
So that changes things because you've got to be quite clever about how you're going to do that because you don't want to be doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like, I bought you a coffee
That's
every day.
Random.
That's not random. So it's becoming a really nice tool for creativity because we're like,
Yeah.
What
okay,
can I
we've done
possibly
that,
do today?
done
Right.
that.
Right.
What can we do today? So that's a kind of a fun way to live because you're kind of always
Yeah.
looking for.
Well, it keeps
a
it
random-
fresh too, and
Yeah.
it keeps it,
Yeah.
moving forward, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So then we centrifugal loop again, right?
yeah.
Build more relationships, understand the business, implement strategies,
Yeah.
which leads to your favorite, I think, leading and inspiring.
Leading and
right?
inspiring,
So tell
yes.
me what that means to you.
So leading and inspiring within our business, as Carly said, we've got a team that we lead at the moment, and we've got a huge focus on POS-psych, so the positive psychology side of things. So being our best selves, and also, I guess, doing what you want other people to do as well. So getting up at 5 a.m. We do our best with that. Sometimes exercising. But also, we've got a big thing as well, P&R. Have you ever heard of P&R before, which is the positive and negative ratio?
Okay.
So I think the ultimate goal is 5-1 for high performance teams. So you need to encourage people and encourage dopamine. So we're very encouraging and supportive within our business, and coming back to being the best version of ourselves is going to lead and inspire others to do so also.
Right. Well, you're role modeling the way, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's so our team inspires us daily.
Yeah.
So we're really lucky. One of our girls, her mantra and her life philosophy is double the dream. So
I
imagine
love that. So whatever it is, double down.
Yeah. But imagine having someone like that on your team. I'll go to set a goal and she'll go, let's double that,
Right.
So that's really amazing. And then we've got another girl on the team who's very serious about her health and fitness. And she's become a leader in the team in a very short period of time just because of her zest for life and her
Right.
optimism.
You can feel it. It's
Yes.
contagious, yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
even like Kylie is so curious, it rubs off. So all of a sudden you're noticing new things and you're like, I would not have noticed that before. But we're really, really lucky.
Right.
So, but we're very, very cautious about who we let into our circle because your
Right.
sphere of influence is so important.
Right.
Definitely.
And you know what they say, your 5 people that are closest to you, you're the average of them.
Right.
So we're like,
So watch who you're close to.
yeah, watch who you're close
And do the
to.
math.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You're like average.
That's right.
That's not ideal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what's beautiful is you can watch things like the Build Show, which becomes an influence.
Right.
So even though your listeners and your watchers might not know you personally, they're being influenced by you. So you could be one of their 5, which is really amazing. I think that's so cool, and I think the Build Frame, I think this is going to go like wildfire in this much time
Right.
because it's so useful. And that's what we need, right? Advice we can use.
Right.
So
Well, thank you. And now you're 1 or 2 of the 5 as well for everyone out
all
there.
right,
So that's
the average is all of a
That's
sudden
right.
up.
There you go. That's 3 of 5. I mean, you only need 2 more people. So let's talk about delivering excellence, right? Because it all comes together there. So what does delivering excellence mean to you guys?
Well, I think this is actually my favorite. So we
Value
like
adder.
value adder. That's like my identity. Add as much value as you can, or add dopamine to any scenario. You know, because I heard this quote once, and I can't remember who said it, but it was, you know, are people more energized when you leave a room or when you enter a room? And I just thought, I never want to be that negative energy
Leave
that
them
people are like,
feeling
oh,
better,
thank
right?
God she's gone. So yeah. So every interaction, I try and add value, and that really impacts the products and services we can offer to our clients. So we just try and go above and beyond every time we can, and we try to leave a lasting impression. And I think if more people did that, you know, our
The world would be a better
nicer.
place.
Just a little bit nicer.
So we call them dopamine dealers.
Yeah?
Yeah. You'd be
just
careful
a-
how you say that.
That's right.
Sounds a little bit dodgy,
That's
but dopamine in general is this most amazing thing. So every time that you feel one of the 10 positive emotions, you get a little bit of dopamine in your brain.
Right.
And it increases lifespan as well. It's really good for your health, creativity. You can think quicker. It's just cognition, memory, everything is elevated when you have dopamine running through your system. So we try and encourage that and be dopamine dealers.
That's right.
It's funny, I got it made into a sweatshirt and I wore it in
Oh,
San
no.
Francisco.
Did it work?
Oh, bad
No,
choice, Sanford.
I didn't know that dopamine you can also get from taking some drugs.
Oh.
So people were like, oh, what are you dealing? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is backfiring badly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Only in America, right?
So we're just walking through the dodgy part of San Francisco,
That's
and then
right.
everyone's looking at Carly, and we're like, oh,
We're like,
Walking up with cash?
what do you have to
put it on inside out, Carly.
Gotcha. Is there anything that you want to think about from the standpoint of a lesson that you've learned, or a quote, you mentioned a couple of them, but anything from a pearls of wisdom type of standpoint that you'd like to share with the listeners who are listening today, that you can help them improve their lives?
For me, and I think you too.
Yeah.
You know, working in TV, we have had some interesting experiences. Let's give it
Very much
that.
so.
We'll just say interesting. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's another show.
But you know, we really think that people don't remember what you say to them. They don't always remember what you do, but they always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah,
And so
that's one of our favourites. It's a philosophy that we live by. Try and make people feel like they're $1 million, because they're always going to walk away and remember how you made them feel. And everyone that we meet, we do our best to
try and make them feel $1 million.
Well,
Or
I'm feeling $1 million
$1
right now, and I'm sure the listeners are feeling much better than when we started
we love
the
you
show.
guys. You all deserve a
it's
big
great.
hug.
Finally, like more about your services or how people can reach out to you and connect with you if they want to. I mean, how do people do that?
So we're relatively active on social media, although we do have little breaks, and I think that's good for you. But you can find us at Carly and Tresne, and it's just CarlyandTresne, and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever. But you know, if you want to connect with us, we always love to hear from people, and particularly if you want to know any more about our experience with the Build framework, because we've had a really good time with it, and I think you guys will too.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank all of you for joining us on The Build Show, and I look forward to seeing you next time on The Build Show. The happiness mission. I mean, you can't be inspired about being happy, right?
We try.
So, Tom's not here to tell us when to cut. So
I know, we'll just keep on walking.
We just keep walking,
Just
and
keep
then,
on walking.
And we're in Studio 3. See, this is where we were. We were in Studio 3.
We're in Studio
that's
3
it.
with
And
the giant
there's a
popcorn.
tiger, and that's that.
There's a
So
tiger.
thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Build Show.